Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Martians and aliens. We're not speciesists on this channel. Everybody's welcome. My name is Alan, and welcome to Mars, the second Genesis. Well, guys, there has been an image from the Curiosity rover from Sol 3466 that's been doing its rounds on social media. And for those of you who don't know, they found what's possibly a doorway on Mars. As you know, guys, I done a video on that, but it was in 2D, so you're in for a wee treat with this video. I may have not been the first to find the door, but I'm certainly the first to do it in X3D. So today you're going to see it in X3D. Not only that, we're going to see some other anomalies in X3D from the surrounding area, which, trust me guys, you don't want to miss this. And before we go any further, I would like to just address the silly people at NASA who are trying to dissuade us from believing that this could be a doorway. Well, let's just put this in perspective, in X3D's perspective, and when you see this, you'll have no doubt whatsoever that this could be a doorway, a window, or, as I have got evidence to suggest, it could be where the Martians stick out their wee laser guns to shoot you if you happen to stray too close for comfort. After this image was released to the public, which went viral by the way, NASA released a statement after a week informing the public that what possibly could be a doorway was in fact just over a foot in height. I don't know about you guys, but it really doesn't matter what height it is. It still looks like a doorway. Have you ever saw a Martian? What's to say that they aren't 9 inch tall? Only an idiot would be arrogant enough to think that the height of humans is the golden standard for all creatures who walk, crawl, slither, or run in the universe. I don't think so. Yeah, right, NASA. I shall file your opinion in the bin where it belongs, because I prefer to keep an open mind, and I think you at NASA should too. There's enough misinformation flying about the internet to corrupt the truth, so we don't need you lot at NASA adding to the big pile of shite that stinks up the internet like a rancid fart in a spacesuit. If you want us to stop laughing at you, may I suggest telling us the truth for a change and showing us the real images, not the crap you're giving us, but the real undoctored raw images that you obviously see and deem that we can't handle the truth. Well, I can assure you, most people, if they can handle the garbage and the shit all governments of the world has been shoveling to us over the last 2 years, I think they can handle the fact that maybe, just maybe, we're not alone in the universe. After all, it is the biggest discovery in the history of the human race, and seeing as the American people pay for it, I think they've got the right to know the truth, don't you? So, without further ado, let's take a look at this possible doorway or window or whatever it is in X3D. So, as usual, I shall just pan through and let you see this, guys. Okay, so let's look at this doorway, or window, or whatever it is. NASA says it's a natural geological fault. Yeah, right, NASA. If you look here, we can see what looks like this seems to be curved. Joe from Art Alien TV pointed something out which I'll just point out as well. Here we have a straight line going up. We've got a straight line going across and a straight line going down. So although NASA say from here to here is just over a foot, that could take it up to about 15 inch. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that this could be a small doorway for a small creature of some kind. Now, as I pointed out in the last video, we've got this line going up here. And it seems like a tapered panel of some kind coming down. We can see here, we seem to have voids. Now this could be like corroded reinforced concrete, and there is evidence to suggest this if we look at that. Now there is quite a bit of artefacts in this, guys. It's just the enhancement process has brought this out. Now something nobody seems to be talking about, which I'll point out yet again. I spoke about it in my last video on this image, and I'll talk about it and I'll show you evidence to suggest this. Look at this here, right, this line. It's 90 degrees, and we've got all these, which looks like panels. Look at this. That to me looks like some sort of roof tiles or panels. Look, they're all overlapping. We seem to have a bolt here, or maybe a rivet. And we can see here they are panels. And they're everywhere. Now look at this here. All running parallel to one another. And they change directions. And towards the end they start curving. And over here. Now that's not natural. They're all over here as well. And as the building contours, and yes, I'm calling it a building because it is a structure, and I will show you the evidence to suggest this. We've got all these panels, and they're all overlapping. As the building contours, so does the panels, or tiles. And we've got this crack right up. It's as if a saw has just cut right through that. And we've got something here that looks like metal. Now, one of the things I'd like to point out to you, if you can uncock your eyes just now, and look at the left image. And I'll zoom in. Now look here, we've got a line going across there, one going across there, one going across there, and there's a couple further down, but they're quite difficult to see. Don't know if you can see it on the video. But this could be stairs or more of these panels. Originally, when I seen this, I thought, that is a door. It must be a door. But when NASA told us the size of this possible doorway, and Joe White from Art Alien TV thought they were in the ballpark with regards to the size. But I'm not arguing about the size of this. What I'm saying is that Martians don't have to be the same height as us. But I'm going to show you evidence to suggest that this might not be a door at all.
Oh, the plot thickens.
For our next image is this. I'll show you the image first. Now if we look up here, this could be another entranceway. It's quite vague, but we can barely see inside, so this does go further back. I'd like to draw your attention to this. Look at the way this comes down. And look at the shape of this. Look at this. Now this reminds me of fancy copper work on roofs. And we've got this bit here. But this is our main anomaly, and if you look here, now this part seems to have slid up a bit from this main piece. And if you can imagine that being slid down and this here aligning, that looks like some sort of hieroglyph there. And there's some stuff going on here, whatever it is. You can barely see it, but you can see some scroll work there. This bit here looks quite carved. This here. So there's some quite unusual stuff there, guys. Now, this part up top here, if you look at that, you can see it looks like, I would say, reinforced concrete. Instead of rebar, they're using panels of maybe metal. We seem to have what looks like a rivet or a bolt sticking out. And look at this part at the top here. Now what I've got here is a closer version, and you can see this piece a wee bit better. I'll zoom in slightly. And if you look here, follow the hand, you can see this shape. So it could be a symbol, it could be a carving. And if you look at this bit here, look at all this. I don't know what all this is, guys, but it's certainly not rock. Okay guys, for our next image, I will zoom in and pan through it for you. Now this is our main anomaly here. Let's zoom in and take a look. Now we can see these metal tiles or panels. And we've got bolts, and the same here. I'm pretty sure this is reinforced concrete. And again here, we've got these tiles. They all overlap. Look at this part here. For our next image, this was found by John Ward. He's a fantastic Mars researcher, and I will put the link in the description for his channel, so go over and have a look. And don't forget to subscribe. And it looks like another entranceway. Now let's go in a wee bit and take a look at this. Now this seems like a flat face, and we've got some sort of flat face here. This looks like some sort of marking here. And this could be panels yet again. Now we can see here how this line comes down. And this line is 90 degrees off of this. And we can see here, this looks like maybe tiling again. And we can see by this, we can see how this top layer follows the contours of the underlying layer. It's maybe difficult to see it, but we've got some parallel lines here, which I think may be tiles as well. And this area here seems to have sort of tiling, and it seems to come round. Okay guys, now here's our next anomaly. What can I say? You can clearly see this is hollow. I'll zoom in a bit closer to this. And you can see clear lines. You can see at the front there, I'll zoom in a wee bit more, you can see markings here. And if we look at the anomaly here as well, I don't know what to make of that, but it does seem as if it's hollow. Okay guys, this is our next image. Remember earlier on when I said that the doorway may not be a doorway, it could be a window, or it could be somewhere where the wee Martians could stick out their laser gun. Well, let's have a wee look at this. I'm no expert on Martian laser guns, but that certainly looks like a gun sticking out. And that looks like a doorway behind it, or a window. So could this be what I think it is? I don't know, you can make up your own mind. But if you look at it, we seem to have a funny looking bit at the end here. And we have this mechanical looking thing here, and we've got the usual pipe sort of thing. This bit here, you can see this looks like something that's structural that's been blown apart. And again, here's some more of these tiles. And we seem to have another door or window. And we've got two parallel uprights, and we've got a crossbeam there. And we've got all this here, and here, and all over. And this here. This looks like some fancy scalloping. And look at the front here. And here. Look at the way this comes up and round. And of course, things wouldn't be complete without a 90-degree angle. It looks like some sort of block up there. And for our next image, we seem to have more evidence to suggest the reinforced concrete theory. If I look here, that could be a rivet or a bolt. And these panels seem to be at 90 degrees to one another. We can see all the way up here. And here we have more of these either tiles or panels or whatever. And we can see these are very thin. This here. That piece there. Look here. It goes across and down. And of course we've got these, they seem to be running in the same direction, all parallel to one another. And we have this bit here, looks like a bit of pipe sticking out in these pieces. This is our next image, and I'll just pan up for you. Now there's two main parts to this. The first part is these parts here. Looks like tiles. Parts sticking out. They all seem to run parallel to one another. All these here. All run parallel. And we can see here at the side, it seems like corroded concrete. Now, I'd like to draw your attention to this, and you only see this in X3D. That looks like a corner. And we've got a complex convex curve. And we have a curve here as well. And if we look up here, we've got some stuff going on there as well. That seems nearly at 90-degree angles. You know, these are two non-fractal. And we've got this up here. We've got these parts. And we see some stuff going on in the shadows. I couldn't pull any more detail out of that, guys. And look at the shapes here. This is supposed to be sand. I managed to bring out some shadows that were below it that show there's something going on there and here. Now guys, this is supposed to be sand here. Do you honestly think sand is going to be sitting vertical? I mean, think about it. Ain't going to happen. Look at this here. And again, more of these sort of tiles. Look at this part. And here. And if you look at that from a distance, guys, you can clearly see that's a complex shape there, which probably would be impossible to form naturally. And just as a wee treat, seeing you managed to make it to the end of the video, is a wee close-up of this so-called concrete. So let's take a close look at this to see if it's rock or concrete. Okay, let's zoom in this part here. We'll zoom in close. Okay, so let's take inventory here. What have we got? Well, we have a very thin edge here, which looks more like metal. And if you look at this part here, we have smooth edges here, smooth edges which looks perfectly flat. And this seems to be hollow. Let's zoom in a wee bit closer. Now I meant to say, guys, as ever, I will upload all these images into my Google Drive. I'll put the link in the description and you can download them free of charge and view them till your heart's content. Look at this bit here. Now this is right next to the camera, so it's only maybe 2-3 inches high. You could probably see, like, you maybe get a few jaggy bits coming off a rock, but the amount of straight parts that look like metal and voids that seem to be non-fractal, you could pretty much bet your bottom dollar that's not rock. And again, look at this. It resembles more like metal, thin sheet metal embedded in concrete. And we even have the customary bolt or rivet there. We can see this is hollow. See, there's a lot of voids. So this does not resemble rock, guys. I would say this is more like your reinforced concrete. As ever, I'd like to hear your comments in the description what you think all this is. Some pretty compelling evidence here to suggest this is a building, not just a mountain with a building attached to it. So guys, I've got another couple of videos coming on this. I've got another 2D video which I have enhanced this stuff a different way to show you even more detail. and showing more of the area surrounding this. I've also got a video coming up which is going to show the day before the rover came to this point, and you can see this doorway from a different angle, and you can see a lot of these anomalies from a slightly different angle, and some of the anomalies seem to have disappeared for some reason. Strange that. Only that would happen with NASA. So you've got all that to look forward to. So anyway guys, with that, I'm going to bid you farewell, and I'll catch you in the next video.